I'm Jack. I dated Kayleigh for a little over 5.5 years. Um, Sophomore year of high school in English class, we were assigned a new seating arrangement. And just as I was hoping, Kayleigh and I were placed right next to each other in the back of the class. That same day, I overheard Kayleigh talking about how much she'd love the pizza-flavored Pringles. The next day, I brought her a can of pizza Pringles. Before the end of class, I asked if I could try one of them. She picked up the can and showed me that it was empty. Not knowing how to flirt, I laughed and then oinked at her as if I was calling her a pig. Her jaw dropped, her open mouth quickly turned into a big smile. That's the smile I became addicted to. The following weeks, Kayleigh and I started hanging out regularly, which led me to ask her to be my girlfriend. Little did I know, God was giving me this beautiful soul to love for the next 5.5 years of my life. I have countless memories with Kayleigh over the years, and I'm incredibly thankful that I got to share these memories with her. We'd experienced a lot in the time we had together: car accidents, road trips, food, festivals, concerts, international travel, camping, rafting, raising a puppy, and much more. Our memories together are the most valuable legacy I have left to hold on to. Kayleigh and Maddie's friendship was strong and unlike any I've ever seen. With that being said, I was able to share half of these memories with both Kayleigh and Maddie. They're memories that will stick with me for as long as I live. Kayleigh had an unforgettable personality, which I was privileged enough to explore for over half a decade. Kayleigh showed me trust, loyalty, and integrity. She showed me a type of love I truly believe I had never found if I hadn't have met her. Kayleigh understood the value of life. She wanted to take advantage of life every day. She had a huge desire to fill her days with fun. Her worst days were not always when something bad happened, but often when nothing good happened. It always amazed me how Kayleigh was so self-motivated and focused on her future, yet didn't lack an ounce of love for the people around her. Anyone who Kayleigh loves understands that she loved hard, and she provided a special kind of love that's almost difficult to understand. Kayleigh, your absence has quickly become its own presence. It's a presence I never knew I'd have to experience, but it's a presence I'll never let go of. I'll forever miss your smile and your laugh. I'm so thankful I lived my entire adulthood by your side. It's going to be incredibly difficult for me and many others to start a new year without you, Maddie, Xana, and Ethan. I pray for the truth to come to light and for justice to be served. Murphy is a happy pup and he misses you lots. You will always live on in our hearts and forever be a part of our lives.
Hi everyone, I'm Jake. I was Maddie's boyfriend. I got to spend about 2 years being in love with Maddie, but today I kind of just want to talk more about the good times that we got to share together and just tell some stories about that really show who Maddie was as a person. And I know that the Maddie that I got to experience was a completely different Maddie than Karen knew, or Sophia and Kayleigh and everybody. Like, I just got to really know the inside and out of her. She was just always so supportive of me and everything that I did. Like, I really had like a tough time with graduating college and just like moving out alone and being in Boise. She helped me through all the tough times of struggling to think like if I'm gonna figure it out and all this stuff, and she was just always there to remind me like how great I was and what amazing things that I was gonna do in life. One thing that really amazed me about Maddie was how she really prioritized everybody else before her. An example of that is just when she gave gifts, like come Christmas time, she was so excited always. She was always looking for like fun gift ideas for all of her friends, and she's like, I would always be a part of the process, and I never really thought that I would be the best person to ask for most of the people that she was asking. Like, she was asking about Kayleigh and Karen, and I'm like telling her like, you need to think about this one. Like, but no, she put a lot of thought into others, and it really just, I think it's a good way for everybody else to kind of live their life and just kind of prioritizing being such a good, just being a good person and being there for others when they really need you. But some of the times that I wanted to talk about that really showed who Maddie was, I'll just start with the Hagerman trip that we took that Scotty mentioned earlier. So we were living in Boise last summer, and Maddie was getting tired of doing the same thing every weekend, and she wanted to set up a trip, and she saw this TikTok of this little bay, and the water is like super clear blue, and you just rent kayaks and you go and hang out there. And so we did that, and we kayaked all the way across this river, and I was trying to take a lot of pictures of her, and she kept turning around as I was on the kayak, and she goes, "Why are you not paddling?" And I go, "Turn around, I'm taking photos of you." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she continued to pose, and she loved being on camera, and she was really good at it. But when we got to the little bay area, we were hanging out there, and we were just hanging out, and then she wanted some photos, and I wanted to get a better angle, so I pushed her out into the bay towards this boat, like on the kayak. Don't worry, I didn't push her in. But I pushed her towards this boat, and then the next thing you knew, we were on that boat. And this random family that we had never met before, we just, next thing you know, we started out on a kayak rental, and next thing you know, we're at a mansion on the river. So that was one of the really good times. And then I also went golfing with Maddie one time. She had fun. I'll leave it at that. Her rule for that day of golfing was that you don't have to be good at golf, you just have to be cute. And I saw a lot of the photos popping up there, but she looked like a professional golfer that day, and she planned it out. She was just ready to go, and some of the videos I have of her swing, like, it's not the best swing, but if it was good enough for her, she'd turn around and smile and laugh, and she just really made the best of it, even though we didn't even get to, the conditions weren't good, so we didn't get a cart, so the girls had to walk, but we carried the bags for them, and we had a good time. And one weekend when I was just hanging out in Boise, I got a knock on my door, and I was just sitting there and was like, who's here? And I went and answered the door, and it's just Maddie, and she has 2 suitcases and a big puffy coat on, and I just remember her smile that day. Just, from ear to ear. And I miss it a lot, but I know that Maddie would want all of us to get through this process in the best possible way. One thing that Maddie really believed in was manifestation. So there's this one time when I was in Moscow, and this is before I had access to a car, and I was trying to convince her to come down and visit. I think it was during COVID, and she was telling me that she was not a good driver and that she didn't want to come. So I told her, well, if you tell yourself that you're not a good driver, then you're not going to be a good driver. And I think that kind of bit me in the butt, because she used that on me for just about any time I was getting down in the dumps. She goes, just reminding me, she brought it up every time too. And she just mentioned that, I need to, speak things into existence and just be strong through everything. So I know that they're all up there watching over us, and I just can't wait to see them again. And I hope that they're loving heaven, and just can't wait to give them a big hug again. Thank you.